Hello everyone. Today we're going to go over the love bombing, but mostly the red flags within the love bombing. So most people who have been through toxic relationships with anybody who's a narcissist will still ask, well, what are the red flags? So if you just haven't been able to remember what they are, this will help you remember. So let's see. So, does everybody do this? Does everybody do the love bombing? No. Only unhealthy, manipulative people do love bombing. There's no reason to. If you're your genuine self, there's no reason to pretend to be something other than that to attract a person. So, love bombing is a tactic that toxic and manipulative people use to ensnare their future victims or source of supply. Healthy people just don't do that. Someone that is interested, could show off a little bit. That's normal. Somebody wants to show their value, so that has nothing to do with love bombing. So what does love bombing include? First of all, it's mirroring. The person is copying you. They're sitting there and studying you, so they're copying your tone of voice, your facial expressions, your emotions, feelings. They are mirroring your personality to some extent, maybe your mindset, or other forms of expression. This is just what they do. This is a part of how they could help relate to you when they have nothing relatable. This is just what they do because they're an empty shell. Okay. Another thing is usually they don't give any input because they're trying to learn and figure you out. So they don't have any opposing thoughts or anything like that because they're studying you. This is a red flag. Somebody, even if you say, oh, I love chocolate ice cream with poop on it, somebody's going to say, oh, that's disgusting. A narcissist might just say, oh, that's interesting, or go, oh, wow, I love that too. You're the only other person that loves this besides me. And you're going to go, wow, that's really, really weird. Okay, so, they lie all the time. It's little lies, but they all add up. They exaggerate according to what matches your interests, beliefs, morals, ethics, values, all these things, even political views. It could be just anything of that nature. They could be so small, subtle lies, but they do tend to lie a lot. And you'll notice it, but you'll sweep it under the rug because you're like, not a big deal. That wouldn't hurt anybody, right? Because the whole thing with them is they want to look good to you. They want to look perfect to you. They want to seem like they're this hidden treasure that you are so lucky to just all of a sudden discover. So another thing is they might love all the same hobbies, bands, artists, books, movies, television shows that you do. And the only reason they'll do this and tell you that is either you shared it with them or you allowed them prematurely to go onto your Instagram or your Facebook. Because if you don't know the person and you let them get onto your private, page, they will search through it and stalk it and figure out what you do and don't like. And then with that, they'll present that as their own, and then you're gonna be like, wow, we have so much stuff in common. So I wouldn't really add anybody to my social media if it's a private thing and personal that you just met, because they might use that to weaponize things. Okay, right away after the first date, they're talking and they're calling you all the time. They're texting you nonstop. They might be emailing you all the time. They can't stop thinking about you. This is obsessive stuff. So that's not healthy for anybody. Somebody could say, oh, we had an amazing date. But some people do the 2 or 3 day rule, which is ridiculous. But a narcissist will right away start texting and calling you 24/7. But they'll try to make it seem like, oh, we have such an amazing connection. It feels like I know you forever, where, I hope this isn't bothering you, but I've never had this connection before. So they'll use this terminology over and over again. So beware of the nonstop contacting, because this is normal. Also, if you guys live kind of close together or work close together, that person will want to see you all the time. Out of nowhere. It's just like the first date, it's like they already latched their claws into you. A normal person's gonna want to take things slowly. A narcissist never takes things slowly. Everything is full force, 100 miles an hour right off the bat, especially if they feel that they could get something out of you, right? So that's part of it. They tell you that they think about you every waking moment, and it's just so overly done. And then within a short period of time, they're gonna put you on a pedestal. You are so amazing. You're so smart. You're so brilliant. You're so beautiful. Wow, I never met somebody that did this. I never met somebody that made me feel this way. It's just like you're always the most amazing thing, and you're the only thing in the world that they have experienced. And it's just the admiration and the love bombing is just through the roof, where it's just like, oh my God, your hair is so short, but it's so perfect. I've never seen anybody's hair like that. It's like, it'll be ridiculous, but this is what they do. And what do? They make it seem like you're a dream come true. God tailor-made you for them. They're your soulmate, twin flame, all those dangerous terms, right? Within the first couple of weeks or less, they might say that they love you, and they've never felt this way before. Most people will be like, oh, this is so amazing because of all the love comedies and stuff like that, which is toxic. But no, nobody could love you within a couple of dates. But they will say this, oh, this has never happened before. So amazing. It's like, yeah, I can't help but feel this way. And another thing that they do is, if they don't really have their own place, they'll try to move in within a few weeks, a month, or even less. Because they'll be at your house every day, where it's like, well, if I'm here every day, might as well just bring some stuff here. And next thing you know, it's like, might as well just live here with you, because I don't want to leave your side. These are all red flags. What else is it? Well, the sex will be mind-blowing, right? They'll do things to you that they wouldn't do to barnyard animals, because it's like, this connection's so deep. And most people go, oh my God, I never experienced this before. This person must have this deep connection and love me in such a way. No, the intimacy and the passion is not there. They do this to everybody. This is something that I call sex baiting. Sex baiting is when they disguise intimacy and passion with performance and intensity. This is why most of them love watching porn. They're just using you to masturbate. A living being. You mean nothing to them because they're narcissists. This is the hardest thing for a lot of people to accept, and most people go, wow, that's what really got me in the sex. It's like, that person wanted me every day. Nobody ever wanted to do that with me or be with me that much. This is all part of the red flags, okay? So what else is another thing is, like, they'll give you. Next thing you know, once they've studied you enough, they'll start buying you a ton of shit. It's just what they do. They might go want to travel, take you on vacation, take you places you've never been before if they could afford it. And next thing you know, it's like, wow, dream come true, right? It's sad because these are things that it's like, oh, that would be so amazing, so special. But it's like, yeah, this is just what they do. What else did I put? Oh yeah, they'll start future faking. Future faking is when they start talking about the future as if it's going to happen tomorrow. But they want to tell you how they feel, right? It's like, oh my God, it's like, I want to have kids with you. I want to get married to you. It's like, I can't wait. Within a certain period of time, we're going to go house hunting. This is called future faking, because they know they're not doing any of that shit. But they want you to think that, of course, they're your fantasy, right? What's another one? Well, that's pretty much it. So the thing that they do is, this is called either the golden phase, the love bombing phase, the admiration phase, and this is just to get you to a point where you're pretty much trapped, especially if they move in with you or you get a place together. And this is just what they do. So it's harder to leave them when this happens. Also, that phase is the shortest lived phase, and it'll never be repeated ever again. Unless you catch them cheating or whatever, then they'll act like this again for a very short period of time. But the phase that always follows and that is endless is the devaluation phase. That's when the abuse, the manipulation, that's always there, but the verbal abuse, psychological abuse, the gaslighting, the lies, the cheating, all this is just right around the corner. So everything that I covered today was a lot of the red flags that you will experience, but there'll be some cognitive dissonance because you're gonna be like, man, I never felt this way before. It feels so amazing. And they know that. And that's where the trauma bond comes in, because you have been put on a pedestal where you've never been treated like this before. And now with the cognitive dissonance, you can't think how this was fabricated and not true. How could it not be true? This is how I felt. Well, remember, you're projecting yourself onto them. Meanwhile, if they're narcissists, there is no bond, there is no real connection. They just used you. And this is really hard for a lot of people to take and sit with that and go, wait a second. And that's why you have to really learn about the narcissist. Once you could really learn who they are and how they manipulate and do what they do, then you could start to say, okay, I accept it. I can't change them. I cannot fix them. And then you start to go, wow, everything we had was a total lie. And it was what you could consider a shared fantasy. And this didn't exist, this whole relationship. And this is the first and hardest pill to swallow. And then from there, you could start to work on things where you could start to heal and eventually move on. But as long as you're holding on to the love bombing phase or the golden phase and thinking you're gonna get that person back, you're not gonna be able to take a step forward because you're gonna hold on to something that never existed. And this is what usually keeps people stuck for the longest amount of time. So for everybody that always asks, what's the red flags? I covered a lot of them today. Hope it helped you. Most of the time people love watching the videos, but they never leave likes or comments. It's really helpful because then also there could be a conversation engaged, and from there I could think of other videos to make. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and as time goes on and people have questions about certain things, I'll make more content. All right? Thank you, everybody.